All right, so we're back here for another Pride interview. Thanks for joining us again. Joining us today, it's my wife in our living room, Sarah Harris.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So we usually start off by just introducing ourselves and just stating our pronouns. So I am Samantha Harris. She, her pronouns.
I am Sarah Harris. She, her pronoun.
Okay. Thanks for that. So if you just want to say a little bit about yourself. I mean, I know a little bit about you.
Just a little bit.
Enough. I know enough about you.
Does that mean like enough to have made an informed decision or enough that you don't need to know anymore? Do not answer that. I swear to God.
All right. I was weighing out those options, but
yeah,
I'm glad you gave me a pass.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I am Sarah Harris. I moved to northeastern PA about 12 years ago. I grew up in South Florida and have been home here ever since. And honestly cannot imagine living anywhere else. I'm so happy to be part of this community and have really found such wonderful friendships and really great belonging here. What else do we need to know about me?
That's up to you.
That's up to me.
I mean, I know enough.
You do.
Whatever you decide that means.
I don't know. I work in destination marketing, which is a really fun job. I get to tell people about all the great things that there are to do here in Luzerne County, which I really, really love.
And there are a surprising number of great things
really
to do
are.
here in Luzerne County.
This podcasting will take a completely different turn if we start talking about that.
We're not.
I geek out a little bit. So if you ever want to know about all of that stuff, please let me know because I could talk for hours. I really like to be involved community-wise. I really enjoy volunteering, just being involved with different projects and different organizations and serving on committees. I really feel a lot of fulfillment in being able to give back to a community that I feel has really just been so warm and welcoming. And, I've made so many wonderful friends here. And
when you say the community, do you mean the Legitimate Co-op Premium community or the NEPA community?
Both, actually.
And I've just accepted that's how NEPA is pronounced.
NEPA. Both, actually. I mean, I became part of this community as a whole, the greater NEPA community, before I was officially out, as it were. And
out or outside the outdoors?
out. So I was able to build a lot of those friendships even then. And then once I came out, I found a whole other community of people who were just as kind and loving and supportive. And I'm very thankful for that. So, yeah, I have 2 brothers and a niece and a nephew. And we have 3 dogs. I love coffee and Halloween.
Did you take my string?
No. My favorite color is blue. Did you cut a string? Where did it go?
You have it.
I don't. I cut my own.
Sorry, I don't believe you.
Rewind the tape. Evidence will show.
Play the tape.
Evidence will show, Your Honor.
History.
I would like your viewers to see that this was sitting on your leg.
We had a previous take where our dog, who weighs 140 pounds, ran straight into my face. So.
He had a little bit of the zoom.
I still don't know where that string went.
That was it. Fell off the table.
I'm in the right in front of me where it went.
Anyway.
I have a concussion and my nose is bleeding a little bit. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we are coming hot off of the gala.
We are. The NEPA Pride Projects. The NEPA Pride Project.
NEPA.
Big event every year. The gala. What was this year's theme?
It was Masquerade.
Masquerade.
And you and I have never been to the gala previous to this year.
No, this was our first year, and it was so fun.
We had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
our very good friends, Jake Kelly and Lori Prashka Thomas, are part of that board. Um, so we are very happy, obviously, to support, in addition to the fact that we support the arts in all of its capacity.
Right.
We had a really good time in addition to supporting that mission, obviously. Sarah really likes to get dressed up. I do not feel the same. I have a polo on right now, which qualifies as.
What does Katie say? You're very formal wear, ultra formal.
This is my. If I have real pants on, and a shirt with, I think any kind of collar, anything besides the t-shirt, I'll have to ask Katie for clarification. We'll tag her in this video. I believe that qualifies as my ultra formal wear. But again, I'll have to ask for clarification. So getting dressed up, I channeled Taylor Swift, circa Paris, Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, and I wore a child's Halloween costume. It was white, and it was a pirate jacket, and I think that turned out really well. We'll post pictures in our comments.
It did turn out well. It did not look like a pirate on vacation as I had originally thought it was going to. So your vision far surpassed my expectations.
As it usually does.
Sorry for being a naysayer.
You know, I just I live to prove you wrong.
I know.
That's literally why I'm alive. So that's fine. That's fine.
Just a little competitive edge in our relationship at all times.
It's fine. So coming off of the gala, what are some of your favorite moments?
Well, I really loved being present for the ceremony part of things. Sorry. You know, being able to, you know, just hear about the organization's impact, you know, and all the good things that it's done in the community. I really enjoyed being able to spend the night with our friends. You know, we
do have some friends.
We do have a few, and they were there, and it was really fun to get dressed up with them and, you know, to dance. And
not my favorite part.
But you did such a good job. Sam was teaching people the hot to go dance. It was really something impressive.
I did do that.
Shout out to Maddie P, who learned that in the mines with Sam at approximately 1:30 in the morning. It was a really great night. We had a really good time.
We did do that.
And then there was an especially moving part of the program.
Yes. When Phyllis Mondo was awarded the Sally Healy Award, the Sally Healy Community Impact Award, posthumously, which I think had at least half the room in tears. So Phyllis was a person who I met at a super tumultuous point in my life, before I met you, like a solid amount of time before I met you. So, that was definitely a point in my life that was pretty tumultuous. But 27 nominations pre deadline, and then more nominations posthumously.
Yeah.
So, you know, Phyllis was already somebody who I think was revered, and always had everybody, you know, it was always, I got you, don't worry about it. So it was just really nice to see that everybody had Phyllis.
Yeah.
You know, in those moments.
It was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. And even, you know, the chair with her picture on it, I thought was just a really gorgeous touch.
It was.
You know, and I'm grateful to have been part of that.
Absolutely. Our very good friend, Lori Prashka Thomas, was there, not only in her capacity as a board member, but also taking pictures, and they were posted today. They're beautiful pictures. She is the co-owner of Shadowcatcher Photography. Those pictures came out we are going to purchase our pictures, and again, that will go to supporting the arts, supporting scholarship funds for kids going into the arts. The arts are diminishing in schools rapidly. If you're not familiar, just check out your local school board meeting minutes. That will become apparent to you immediately. So please check out Shadowcatcher Photography if you were there. Make sure you check out the Gala Facebook page. Check out the Shadowcatcher Photography Facebook page, and definitely check out Lori for those needs in the future.
Absolutely.
So aside from the gala, which is a colossal event, what other Pride events have you attended?
Well, I love the Rainbow Alliance Pride Parade and Festival downtown Wilkes-Barre.
Why is that?
It's such a moving day, and I remember my first Pride Parade was last summer, 2023.
Was your first parade?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not this past summer.
No, not this past summer. The summer before.
Okay, that's what I'm going to say.
And I will never forget the moment when the parade started. You were driving.
Yes, I was.
You were driving Trixie Valentine and Delaney O'Brennan.
Yes.
And I was in the passenger seat, and we started out on South Main Street, and the crowds were pretty sparse down by Wilkes.
And you were.
Yeah, and then we started out over by the federal courthouse, and I was like, well, this really isn't a lot of people. Like, where is everybody? And the closer we got to the square, the more I could see, just these massive amounts of people. And we kind of came up through the underpass at Wilkes, and we were coming up towards the intersection of Northampton. And I just remember looking ahead and seeing all of these people just cheering and waving and with their signs. And it was such an emotional moment for me, because I remember thinking, like, oh my gosh, like, look at all of these people who are here. Like, this is such a beautiful, beautiful moment. And that event really means a lot to me, because it's such a great opportunity to see, community and allyship, to have like an actual visual of it, which I think is really great. And I am also really proud this year that my wife, this lady right here, was elected, nominated, awarded the Rainbow Alliance's NEPA Pride Champion. Right? We don't know the real name of the award, because literally once Sam had it in her hands, she started referring to it as Queer of the Year. I don't know what the actual name is. Yeah. Sorry, Shay. I keep forgetting. Yeah, so that was a big deal. Sam got that award this year, so we're super proud of her. She is a Pride champion, for those of you who have been watching these videos, or her who have literally interacted with her at all. She's pretty freaking phenomenal. So that was a big deal this year. I really loved, I really loved being part of that.
And we also shout out to Lori. We also renewed our vows.
We did renew our vows this year, which is so funny, because when Lori called and asked if we would be interested in doing that, I looked at Sam and was like, no.
You said no?
I did. Don't you remember? We were sitting on the couch, and I was like,
they're tied.
They're tied.
Oh my God. They're gonna lose it.
I was like, no. And you were like, yeah. Which is funny, because it's usually the other way around. And so I thought that I thought that was interesting. But it was really such a beautiful moment. And like we mentioned before, Sam and I got married in a very short amount of time, in a very beautiful but small ceremony.
We planned it in a short amount.
We planned him at a short amount of time.
It's not like shotgun wedding.
It was not a shot. There was nary a firearm in sight, but it was. It was a beautiful. We had a beautiful wedding day, but it was just nice to, get to experience that again. With some of our loved ones present, and some more of our loved ones present, I should say. So yeah, that was a really beautiful thing that Lori orchestrated through her other business, Ceremonies by Lori. So if you are getting married, I need an officiant. And it's not just Lori that will officiate your wedding.
It is our other great friend, Anthony Mouth.
We love Anthony Mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Or Jacob Kelly or Trixie Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
Either one.
What a star-studded lineup.
Honestly. I wonder if they would all of them do it together. Can we get married again and have them all? No. See, this is what I mean.
3 times in 3 years.
I don't think so. I think we should do it every year.
I don't think that's necessary.
Yeah, you're no fun.
I am determined. I am the party.
I am the wife of. Shout out to Susie Ray for those fun tote bags. Anyway, yeah, it was a really fun event this year, and you know, and you know, watching one of our friends who I won't name by name because I don't know if they'll want this information out about, you know, their children and their personal life, but you know, watching, you know, parental allyship in action, you know, when a friend brought their daughter to Pride, and you know, just it was so beautiful to watch them experience that together, you know, as this young girl is very confident in who she is and very brave and very open, and you know, to be able to be there with, you know, her parent. And
I will tell you what, there was a lot of parents who brought their adolescent children, or their teenage children to Pride this year. Yeah. And I mean, I was one of those kids who I was like, I don't know, I was 5 or 6, and I was like, yep, I know exactly who I am. And I'm not saying anybody has to make that decision ever. I don't think anybody needs to decide exactly who they are and, you know, stick with that. At a super young age, I think that's part of the beauty of being a child. Right. Is that, you know, you don't have to decide who you are for the rest of your life. I think that's a lot. But I mean, you know, if you have one of those kids and you support them, you know, I think that, you know, every parent who supports their kids unconditionally is, you know, doing a great job as a parent. Absolutely. And protects their kids, you know, unconditionally, obviously, is doing a great job as a parent. But also, you know, just the fact that your kid feels safe to tell you those things and talk to you about those things. Right. I think that's great. I think that means that you're exceeding what so many people ever achieve as a parent.
100%. 100%. And that was, you know, a really cool thing to witness. You know, even with another one of our friends, it was like, hey, you know, my kid's going to be there. Can you, you know, sure, can you kind of like shepherd them through this day? And, you know, that was such a tremendous honor. You know, just to be someone's safe person, you know, as part of this stage in their life is really a cool thing to see. So, you know, there's a lot of those beautiful moments there. It's
not about a gay experience. I mean, a lot of it's just about
a human experience.
Correct. Because that's what it comes down to. I mean, and there's so much more in the way of allyship at Pride events and about just human connectivity. And I think that's becoming more and more obvious and more prevalent at events like that. Right. And I think that you saw a lot of that when you had been telling me about your first pageant. And I don't know if you just kind of want to recap that when, you know, somebody asks you if you were a
if I was
the community or if you were an ally, because there's so many people who are allies, right? You know, who are supportive, and that's great.
Yeah, and that was a big deal for me because I was only newly out. I mean, it had only been, this was in early 2021.
So, you know, like 3 lifetimes ago.
Honestly. I came out in 2019. And then this pageant was in 2021. But it was my first like official Pride-y thing. And we didn't have, there wasn't a lot going on that year, like you said, because of COVID. and the pageant was taped at the Think Center.
Shout out to the Greater Wyoming Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely, for the use of that space. And Dan Kimbrough from Park Multimedia was able to live stream that event, which was very cool. And I had volunteered to assist, and that was the first time I got to meet Trixie, and work alongside them. And
I
it
didn't
was,
realize that
yeah, we had been on Zooms and stuff together, but we had never seen each other in person. And it was so much fun. And it was such a great experience to, to get to be part of something so impactful. But it was in that moment I was washing my hands in the bathroom, and someone else came in to wash their hands, and she introduced herself, and she said, "Are you an ally or are you a member of the community?" And, it was the first time I really felt in an inclusive, specifically LGBTQIA space. I was able to emphatically announce that I was in fact part of the community. And that was just such a pivotal moment for me.
Women's bathrooms are inherently a safe space much of the time.
Very transformative places.
They really are. I feel like there is, a story that everyone has where they have disclosed something life-changing to a stranger in a women's bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
I'm glad that yours happened at the thing.
Me too.
In Wilkes-Barre.
Me too. So many important things of my life have happened in downtown Wilkes-Barre, which I really love.
We'll have to tag you in this video.
So that was a really cool experience, and it was neat to see all of the hard work that went into drag performing too, because I had never really, seen it, and I was kind of able to act as a stagehand, which was really cool, and help bring props and help find pieces of costumes and help, with fingernail reattachments, and it was just so cool. It was a beautiful experience.
One of the most eye-opening experiences that I've ever had was being a drag helper. Because I have so much more respect
yeah.
For anyone who does any kind of drag.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much. Anyone who wears heels, I have so much respect for, because that just seems terrible. It's oh my god, all the things that you would choose to do to yourself, and it's I was looking at some of the heels.
I know. No.
And then it's some of these performers were in drag for 12.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive, and the artistry behind it is just so cool.
And creativity.
Yeah.
Creativity.
So much creativity.
I talked to a couple people who said that they made their entire outfit, stitched it, sewed it.
We have a lot of friends that,
so creative,
that are able to do that.
And here I am, thinking that I am fantastic because I had the idea to get in on epaulets. From
Shout out to Sam, who just learned what an epaulette was
and how to spell it,
which was a really cool moment.
I am amazing.
This whole experience has been really great, and it was, it's just so cool to be part of something and to be able to, build these relationships and, maybe even in some small way help facilitate those relationships for other people, which, is really meaningful and impactful. And, and it's just really grateful for the friends that, we're making along the way.
We've made a lot of friends.
We have. And, and I think even just our gala experience, we stayed until they closed the mines, which is a big deal because we're not spring chickens. And,
although Sarah's much older than me.
Such a jerk. Anyway, we didn't want to leave because we were having so much fun dancing with our friends, and
them the hot to go dance.
Yeah, so Sam taught Maddie P how to hot to go, which was a big deal. Thanks, Megan, for always sharing your boyfriend with Sam.
Thanks, man, for always sharing your boyfriend
with Megan. It's just so much fun, you know.
No, we have the best friends.
We really do.
Best relationships with our friends. It's amazing, like how you kind of just self-develop into like a whole person one day, and all of a sudden you have grown-up friends, and you're doing grown-up things, and you have, you know, your whole character development is just.
Well, it's
just a person.
Yeah, and it's amazing what happens when you demand more of yourself and more of the people around you. You know, when you demand more from your interpersonal relationships of all kinds. And I really love that too, you know, the kind of growth that comes from, you know, making those kinds of personal changes.
You know, personal development just comes from, you know, working on yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and doing the hard things, and, you know, hopefully being surrounded by people in your life who encourage you to do those hard things.
Yeah. And that's not big gay news.
It's not. It's not even like big gay or big gay straight news, or even big straight news. It's just,
or big gay relationship news.
No.
Or big relationship news, or
you know, but having people who encourage you to do better and be better, and, you know, who can say to you, hey, you know, I see what's going on in your life, and that's not it.
Yeah.
You know,
you are the asshole.
Yeah.
It's not always everybody else.
Right. And I care about you enough to tell you that, you know, I think you're capable of more. And hopefully, if you listen to that advice, you know, big things can happen. I mean, I know it did for me.
Yeah. I mean, I just said, like, you know, the year's 3/4 of the year, 3/4 of the way over. But, you know, we just had a conversation in the kitchen. I said I had a really big year. And I think that a lot of that is because, you know, you are extremely supportive of everything I do. I could say that, you know, I want to be a lumberjack tomorrow, and I am afraid of bugs, and I've never worked a chainsaw in my life. But I think if I came home tomorrow and said I want to be a lumberjack, I think that you'd support that.
I would.
I do not like bugs.
We'll get you some chainsaw lessons first, but
I'm not a flannel lesbian.
You are easy to support, and you're easy to love. You know, one of the things I love most about you is that you don't, and I tell this to anybody who will listen, so I'm sorry if you've heard it already, but, you know, you don't wait for validation. You know,
which is not always the best advice,
but you know, sometimes it is. And sometimes it's not great to be the kind of person who needs a lot of validation. You know, you get things done. You have an idea and you do it, and, you know, and that's part of life, right? Sometimes we can look back and say, okay, well, that probably wasn't the smartest idea I've ever had. Or sometimes you can look back and say, that was freaking amazing. You know, like, that was a jump I'm glad I made. And it's so cool to be standing with you while you do those things.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks for helping me with all those things. Thanks for, you know, making friendship bracelets with me at, you know, 10 o'clock at night.
Is that what time it is?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, we're going to go to bed now. It's 10 o'clock at night.
And Sam's really old.
I'm 33. How old are you?
33 plus a couple.
How many?
I don't know.
A lot.
It's not a lot.
Like 33 or more.
Look at how Look at this bracelet I made.
Oh my god, it's beautiful. Oh, yours has a clasp. I don't even know how you did that.
Can you see? What do the influencers do?
I don't know if they do.
They do that. The makeup girls, when they show you the brushes. When they'll be like, this is a Morphe 715, and then they put their...
I think they do it with their... something else.
No, that's what happens.
Okay.
You guys let her know.
This is a...
That's what Bailey Sarian does. So if you are interested in learning more about the NEPA Pride Project and the gala, they already announced next year's theme.
They did.
What is it?
The Golden Gauge.
The 1950s. Um, so big thanks to Justin Correll and Martha Zabriskie who head up that organization. I know they're already hard at work on next year's event, and we cannot wait.
Oh,
yeah. Sam
cannot wait.
I'm already planning. So if you want to talk about gala outfits with me for next year, for the next 363 days, let me know.
If you want to talk about doing a Pride interview, you can contact me and my Pink Pony Cup.
I feel like if nothing sums us up, you have a Pink Pony Disco cup. I am drinking pumpkin coffee out of a mug that says Classy Witch. This is marriage. Thanks for having me on your show.
What does Bailey Sarian say at the end of hers?
I don't know, but the girls from Mormon say, keep it weird.
I'm just going to say thanks for watching. If you made it through, congratulations.
Let me know if you want to make friendship bracelets.
Let me know if you just want to make friends. Or if you want to make like tacos or something. That's like fine too. That's actually better.
Real ones though, not white people tacos. Please don't.
White people taco night. No, that's fine. That's fine. Although in my hashtag Leadership Northeast class, my fun fact was not a vegetarian, although I do really like iceberg lettuce on my tacos and some little jalapenos. So
one of the 4 vegetables that Sam eats.
Jalapenos are excellent on tacos.
Jalapenos are excellent.
Period.
Yes.
I don't know, those little crusty ones that you try to sneak on my salad. I
thought they were really good.
Yeah. We'll see.
Whatever.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye. That's what Bailey Sarian says.
Keep it weird.